Hi, welcome to the Facebook Adverts Manager Crash Course. This course is designed for business owners or marketers who would like to start using the power of Facebook to brand their business and get more customers. By the end of this 30-minute course, you will know how to use the Facebook Adverts Manager at a basic level and how to measure your results. So first up, I'm your host, Hayley Jane. I've been in the creative industry for 19 years, but most importantly to you, I have 3 years experience in Facebook advertising. So why Facebook advertising? Well, first of all, here on the screen we have a graph of the percentage of Australians using different social media. So you can see that Facebook is by far and away the biggest platform in the country. So following that is also Instagram with the number of users, and Facebook advertising actually controls the back end of both of them. So for your business to reach these people, that's where you want to be, and this is what you want to be using. So Facebook Adverts Manager, when you put an advert onto Facebook, who sees your ads? So here on this image to the left, we have one Facebook ad, 3 different platforms. So firstly, you have Facebook, and there are several different placements available on the Facebook platform. You have the desktop newsfeed, you have mobile newsfeed, you have right-hand column, which is on a desktop, and you now have the new messenger placements. Now there's also Instagram. Facebook Adverts Manager does control the adverts that are seen on the Instagram newsfeed. So you can make one advert and it can be seen on all of those Facebook placements and on the Instagram newsfeed. Now, Audience Network is something that might be new to a lot of people. This came onto the Facebook advertising platform probably about 8 or 9 months ago. So Audience Network is any apps or websites that have used Facebook to promote their product and then partnered with Facebook in that process. So they are allowing Facebook to put your adverts into their apps. So anybody that's got an app on their phone that's downloaded, if you are advertising and they are in your target audience, they might see a banner ad come up for your product on their mobile phone. So that's something that's really handy and increasing the reach of where Facebook can advertise. So another reason with Facebook is the accurate targeting. So there are other ways of targeting people, but Facebook has the most precise means of targeting clients. Everybody puts everything about themselves into their Facebook newsfeed, into their Facebook profile, I should say, and Facebook uses all this information for businesses such as yours to be able to target those exact people with product or services that may interest them. It is so much more accurate than any other means of advertising at all. In fact, the only one that comes close is other forms of digital advertising that comes in at 38%, well below Facebook. So Facebook is definitely something that you want to be doing to advertise for your business to reach your clients. So just before we start here, we'll go through a checklist of what you need to have before you go into doing successful Facebook advertising. So number 1, you need to have a website. Your website also needs to be mobile friendly, as most people are accessing Facebook from their mobile phone, and they will be clicking from the Facebook ad and it will link to your website on their mobile phone. So if your website is not mobile friendly, you do not want to be sending people there. So the number 2 is you have to have a modern and clean looking website that looks good. If you're going to be sending people there, you want them to have a really great experience with your business. That's going to be their first impression and the decider if they are going to call you and engage with you further. Number 3, you have to have a prominent call to action on your website. So this means that you are guiding people easily with an action that you want them to take to follow up with your business. That could be call now, send us a message, email us with the details, fill out this contact form. There are several, but you have to make that very clear so there's no confusion when you have people on your website. So, and most importantly of all is that you need to have a Facebook business page. Now, this is not a personal page. You need to have a business one. So a business page can be created from a personal page. We can cover that again in another tutorial, but at the moment we are talking to people that already have a Facebook business page. So things that you need to make sure you have on your Facebook business page are, number one, it uses the same branding as your website. So you've got that consistency there. Number two, it's up to date with all of your current contact details. So if people do land on your Facebook business page, that they can get in contact with you easily. Number three, there is a button for people to contact you, either a call now or a message now button on your Facebook page. And number four, you have to have either a credit card or a PayPal account to add in your billing section so Facebook knows how to charge you for your adverts. So let's get started with Facebook Adverts Manager. So you've already got a Facebook business page. So to get to your Facebook Adverts Manager, you need to go to the Promote section on the top right of your Facebook business page, and then scroll down to the bottom where it says Go to Adverts Manager. You can see here I've highlighted that with the pink arrow. So you need to go in and click that. So if you haven't created an ad before, you will need to create an Adverts Manager account. So in the Adverts Manager account, it is really important that you select your currency to be Australian dollars and that you select the time zone to be in the Australian time zone that's relevant to you. If you don't do this, it can cause all sorts of problems later when you're trying to track how much money you're spending and when you're trying to schedule your ads. So this is really important that you get this right now. So the other areas that you need to concentrate on will be obviously related to your business, such as the address and the business name. Just make that all obviously recognizable to your business. So the other items, you are advertising for yourself, so you don't need to click that you're an agency, and you are purchasing obviously advertisements for your business. So you need to click yes for that one. So now that you've created your advert account, you need to update your billing method. So there is options to update your billing method inside your ad account settings. So to get to your ad account settings, you go to the little hamburger on the top left, next to where it says add account settings and next to the little Facebook icon there, and then you'll see add account settings in the drop down menu. So go all the way over to the other side on the right where it says add account settings, and then you can go ahead and select billing and payment methods. So in your billing and payment methods, you can select a credit card or a PayPal account to have Facebook billing you into either of those methods that you choose. So it's quite simple to update those from there, and go ahead and save that. Now, once your advert account is created and you have your billing methods in place, you will be ready to start advertising. So there is something about Facebook advertising that is actually quite amazing. There is something called a Facebook pixel. So this is quite an advanced technique, so we won't go into that too much today, but it is definitely something that you need to be aware of. And as you progress and get used to doing adverts, you may want to implement this at a later stage. But for now, I will give you a quick explanation of what it is so you can think about using it. So the Facebook pixel code is code that will go onto your website. So if you don't know anything about websites, you will need to get your web developer to install this for you. But the pixel code, essentially what it does is it talks to Facebook through your website, and it tells Facebook who is clicking from your ads onto the pages of your website, which pages they are clicking on, and who, if you have e-commerce on your website, they're telling Facebook who's purchasing. If you are wanting people to fill out registrations on your website, it's telling Facebook who's registering. So this is really, really powerful. And what you can do with this information over time is Facebook will collect all of that information and profile each and every one of those people that's going onto your site, and they are building, in essence, an avatar. So a type of person that is going onto your site. So it is building that profile and storing that information. So if you want to retarget those people, you know they've already been on your website, you can do an advert just for them, and it's a different method of advertising to somebody, obviously, that has already expressed interest in your business. So other types of audiences that you can later on go and create with the Facebook pixel are lookalike audiences. So Facebook uses the information that is acquired through the Facebook pixel, and it creates another audience of similar looking people to the ones that arrive on your website. So very, very powerful stuff, and really, really great for increasing conversions there. Okay, so let's get into Adverts Manager and how to use it. So when you get into Adverts Manager, you will be faced with 3 different levels of the advertising. So the first one here is the campaign objective. So that is always where you start whenever you're doing something new to advertise for your business. So you can see here that I've put a little box around the campaign objective, so you know what that screen looks like and what to choose there. And this is what that screen looks like. So here, what I've done is I've just done a little square around the objectives that you require the pixel installation for. So we're not going to be covering that today because that's a little bit more advanced, but we are going to be covering the ones that are easiest for you to start learning. So here we've got awareness is the first column. So that's if you're wanting to just put a blanket of advertising out to promote something, it's a really good tool to get low cost branding out to as many people as possible. So the second column we have consideration. So that's the one we're going to be doing the tutorial on today, which is traffic. So we're wanting to drive people to your website. And another one that is really good is video views. So video views, if you have a really good video about your business and you want to promote your business, you can put that on Facebook and choose video views, and Facebook will optimize your ads to go to the people that are most likely interested in watching that video. So it's really important at this stage that you really double check what you're wanting to place in your ad, because if you've got a video views will be really good for that. So at the moment though, as I said earlier, we're going to be concentrating on driving traffic to your website. Okay, so, sorry, we'll go back there. Okay, so now we've got through the campaign here and we're up to the ad set level. So you select your campaign objective first, and then after that you go to your audience. So here we're wanting to create a new audience because we haven't done Facebook advertising before, so we won't have any saved audiences. Later on, if you really like this audience and you get really good results, you can go back and choose a saved audience. So, but for now, we're going to create a new one. So in the top here, you can see the little arrow there. We've got create new, and we want to go straight through to choose a location to target your ads. So in the locations section, there is a little drop down menu there, and you can choose which country, and then you can start honing in by cities, and you can do a radius around each city. So for example, you might like to do 50 kilometers around Sydney, and then you know that you are reaching people in that location. So further down we go to choose your target person. So if you're targeting male or females, you can select their age. So for example, women's perfume, you would be choosing female, and it might be for mature women, so you might choose women between the ages of 30 and 50 for that particular product. But it just depends on the product, and it's flexible. You can choose whatever you want. And interest targeting, further on down, the last one. This is where the magic happens. So this is what is so special about Facebook. No other advertising platform can do this to the level that Facebook can. So here you can go in and you can start messing around with the detailed targeting and start typing in that little box there, and Facebook will start suggesting things to you. So think about who your perfect client is, who you want to reach, what is their job, how are they parents with young children, do they have children a certain age, what other things do they like, what other Facebook pages might they like. So this is all information that you can start putting in there to really build a true picture of who your target audience is. So Facebook knows exactly who to send your adverts to. So further on down in the ad set level, once we've got our audience, we need to decide what our budget is and how long we are going to advertise for. So for beginners, I suggest that you use a lifetime budget. There are other options. You can choose a daily budget, but for now I'm going to cover a lifetime budget because we're looking at this from a beginner's point of view. So if you're with a suggested budget, I recommend that you start off a little bit smaller and then grow later on. When you get your head around everything, when you start collecting results, it's always best with this method of advertising to start off smaller and then grow when you know how successful it is. So a really good amount to start with could be $350. You might like to do that for a couple of weeks, just to see how that pans out. Roughly in my experience, I've found that if you're choosing one of the categories like driving traffic, that you can probably reach, if you've got really good advertising material, about 30,000 people with $300 to $350. I mean, that is not guaranteed because it's different for everybody, but I have found, and having done lots and lots of ads in the past, that that is about an average amount. So here we go, after we've set our budget, we choose our start and our end dates. And seeing as we have chosen that we want to optimize for getting people to our website, we also want to choose that here to optimize the ad for clicks to the website. So then Facebook looks at your advert and it chooses the people to send the ad to that are most likely to click and go to your site. So you're getting the best value for money out of your advert from Facebook. So number 4 is choose the time of day where your ads will run, or will they run only part of the time, or will they run all the time? So if you click run ads on a schedule, you'll see a little calendar there, and you can blank out the spaces that you want the ad to run and leave the spaces empty that you don't want the ad to run. Most of the time you're pretty safe to run them all the time, but later on, as you get more practiced at this and understand more about your clients and the different times that they're engaging with your ads, you'll be able to adjust that from there. Okay, so further down in the ad set level, we have the placement. So the placement means what platform will be seeing your ad, or the placement within there. So for example, we've got Facebook because we're on Facebook, so we're going to choose Facebook. So if you want to, you can choose everything and you will reach Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network, and the new Messenger feed, which is actually not on there at the moment, but that is also a new one that is available to you. For now, I suggest that you choose all devices or mobile only. So, and if you are selecting Instagram, it is a good idea for you to have an Instagram account. You don't have to, but it will be more successful if you do have an Instagram account. And so the display of your ad will look slightly different everywhere, but you don't have to create separate ads. You can create the one ad, and Facebook will optimize the appearance of your ad to suit the placement that you've chosen. Okay, so now we're up to creating the ad. So this is the third level here. We've completed so far our campaign objective. We've been through all of the different steps in the ad set, and now we are up to creating the ad. So that I have highlighted here with the little pink box there, all the options that are best for beginners. So there is actually one more option that is currently on there as well, but that is probably a little bit more advanced. But for now, we're going to cover the carousel, single image, and the single video. So here is an example of a carousel image. So a carousel image has up to eight images that can scroll across in an advert. So you can either stretch out one image across those eight images, or you can do individual images. It's up to you. So really good for if you have multiple products that you want to sell, you can put them in a carousel image and people can scroll across to have a look at them. Or you can do something really creative like this example here where they've stretched it all out and it's really quite engaging. So the carousel advert is square, and at the bottom you have your call to actions there for each one of those images. So the next example is a single image. So a single image is 1200 pixels by 628 pixels wide, and you can either choose one of your own images. If you're choosing a single image, Facebook will also allow you to access their stock images for this. So you can, that is probably the simplest one. So yeah, I would recommend that one right now. That's the simplest one. But if you are feeling brave and creative, you can look at some of the other ones. And finally, a single video. So a single video, if you're uploading a video onto social media, it's a really good idea not to make it too long. People on social media tend to be have limited attention span, so they might only watch 10, 20, even maximum 30 seconds of that video. So if you're going any longer than a minute, it has to be something really, really amazing, really engaging, creative, and really, really good. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking of what video to post. There's also something else that you should know, that if you are posting a video that does contain text, do not choose that thumbnail when you're uploading the video into the advert creative side. You'll have to choose a thumbnail. Don't choose the one that has text on it, or Facebook will actually stop you from promoting that because of the 20% text rule, which we're going to cover in a couple of slides. Just choose something that is really visual, so you won't have that issue. So there is something else to keep in mind, that when you are choosing videos, choose something that is engaging without people listening to the video. A lot of people play the videos on their mobile phone, could be late at night, and or on the train or in transport, they might not have headphones. You want your message to come across on that video without them having to listen to it. So something visual and something easy there, some visual cues in there. And there is all sorts of different file types of the video that you can upload. MP4 is really easy and common. There's MKV or AVI. There are others as well, but if you choose one of these, you'll be pretty safe. So for this example, we're going to choose a single image. So as I said earlier, the image size is 1200 by 628 pixels wide. You can create your own, or you can choose a Facebook stock image. There's actually some really, really good options on just choosing the ones that Facebook will provide for you. If you're not familiar with graphic design, or you feel a bit nervous about creating your own, just choose the stock one for now. That'll be perfectly fine. If you do choose to create your own image and you're not a graphic designer, a really good option is to go onto Canva. So Canva is free software to use. It's you do have certain elements that are paid for depending on what stock images you're choosing from Canva, but you can create something really quite nice within Canva. It's very easy, as I said, for everybody to use. So if you are creating your image, you need to be aware that Facebook has a 20% rule. So the 20% rule means that you cannot have more than 20% of the image covered with text. So you need to keep it under 20%. So this also includes logos. So a logo will be included as part of your text space. So this means there is not a lot of space for you to be putting text over that image. So Facebook, if you do go over that 20%, Facebook will not promote your advert. They will not promote an advert covered in text and logos. So it's really important to keep that in mind. So now that we've chosen our image and we've uploaded that, we need to think about the copy, what we're going to write. So it's going to be obviously different depending on your product. But there are a couple of things that Facebook has rules around when you're writing copy. So number one, the point is get to the point straight away. So people have a very short attention span in Instagram and Facebook and on the audience networks. So keep it simple, get to the message across straight away in the first couple of lines. Get that message across in your headline there, so people know immediately what it is that you're trying to get them to do. So when you are looking at the post content as well, be very careful on the language that you use. Facebook will not allow advertisers to assume too much about their audience with their copy content. So some classic marketing copy tricks are not allowed on the Facebook platform. These include saying too many yous. So for example, saying, oh, you'll feel great after you do this, or do you feel like this? If you are assuming or putting words into your potential client's mouth, Facebook doesn't like that. So you have to be really careful. There's all sorts of guidelines on Facebook if you look it up, but it's something that you have to keep in mind when you're creating content. So I find it's always safe just to stick to what your business can and will do for that client without assuming how the client's going to feel afterwards. So number three, make sure you include a call to action and instruct the audience what to do to take action, like click learn more. So here just talking more about the call to action. So for beginners, it is best to choose learn more as the call to action. So when you're in your advertising space in the Adverts Manager, there'll be a drop down where you can actually choose different call to actions depending on what you're wanting to do. If you're an e-commerce business, for example, with the pixel installed, you might choose shop now or message the page now. But if you're sending people to your website, the best one to choose is learn more, because there's going to be more information about your product on the website. So if you can get people there, you can do, you've got a lot more flexibility to just put whatever you want on your landing page related to this advert and whatever it is that you're trying to sell. So on that note, when you are sending people to your landing page on your website, or if you have an individual landing page, make sure that that landing page is consistent with what you are advertising on Facebook. It can also be not allowed by Facebook if you've got a completely different page that is not relevant to what you're advertising on Facebook. Facebook will shut your ad down. So make sure that it is consistent. Okay, so back onto looking at your advert. So we've gone through all the steps for completing the advert now. and now you're ready to preview what your advert will look like. So if you want to preview your ad, you can just go, you can see here on the top right of where I'm displaying the Advert Manager screen that you can actually preview your ad. So if you click that little triangle there, or that little arrow, it will give you some options of how it can be previewed. So you can share a link to other people so they can preview the ad, or you can preview it on your own mobile phone and take a look at it. There's several different options there. It's really important to do that before you start advertising, so you can get a true feel of what your target audience is going to experience when they see your ad. So another one is that here where it says desktop newsfeed, I've got another arrow. That's a drop down. You can actually choose to display there a preview of how your ad is going to look across the different platforms. So here we're displaying what it looks like on the desktop newsfeed. We can select different options and see what it looks like on mobile. We can see what it looks like on Instagram. We can see what it looks like in Messenger and Audience Network. On the right-hand column, all the different ways that your ad is going to be displayed. You can see that right here. So double check that before you submit for approval. So when that all looks really good, you can click submit, and now it's up to Facebook to decide if your ad is approved. So on the chance that your ad does not get approved, oh my God, this is the worst for marketers and for business people that have gone through all of this. They finally get there and then they get this message from Facebook, uh-oh, my ad is not approved. So don't despair, because Facebook will actually give you some of the reasons why it has been knocked back. So when you receive this message, your ad is not running. Facebook is telling you it does not pass the guidelines, it has not been approved, and they are not going to show people your ad. So you need to look at why, and you need to go back and fix it. So one of the common reasons are back to the 20% rule that I was telling you earlier. If you've got too much text on an image, it won't be approved. If your language in your post is too assuming and not talking about what your business is going to do for a service or sell, or it's too assuming, or your language might be, you might actually be sending the wrong message in your ad. Facebook will tell you with this notification here, and you will have to go back and change it if you want Facebook to start running your ads. So once you've made the changes that Facebook has recommended, you need to go back and save that. And once you stop getting the notifications, you know that it's been approved. It can take a couple of times to get this right, especially when you are looking at the 20% rule, and especially when you're looking at content. It's a little bit of an art, and you need to practice a couple of times, but eventually you will get it right. So now that you've submitted your ad, and if it's running, it's all been approved, your happy days, it's all going, everybody's seeing your ads, you need to be measuring the results to see how your ad is performing. So that is done in Adverts Manager on the campaign level. There's little tabs up the top. You can see it says on the left-hand tab, you've got Account Overview. The second tab you've got is Campaigns, then you've got Advert Sets and Adverts. So if you want to look at the individual adverts on how they're performing, you can just click on the Adverts tab, and then it will bring you to how that individual advert is performing. So the columns here that you need to measure, there's all sorts of different options, but for the beginner level, it's really good to look at how many people are seeing your ad. So that comes in the reach column there. You can see how much it's gone out. So reach is not impressions. Impressions is how many times your ad has been shown, and reach is how many people. So the difference there is that people can be shown your ad multiple times. So the impressions is different to the reach. So the reach is really going to tell you how far your advertising has spread to how many people. So the next column that you need to keep an eye on is the cost per 1,000 impressions. So how much it is costing you for 1,000 impressions. So you really want to keep this amount low. So Facebook will start increasing your ad price if you're not getting the greatest results. So if your audience is not responding very well to your ads, they don't find it interesting, you might have your targeting a little bit off. It might be your creative. There's several different reasons, but it'll be just if you keep trying and trying different audiences, maybe changing a couple of things with your ad, eventually you'll get better and better. So because we are wanting to drive people to our website, the third thing that we need to be checking is how many clicks we are getting to our website. So we can see here the third circle has the clicks columns, and that is telling us how many people are responding to our ad and clicking on it and going to our website. So that's a really important way of measuring the success of the ads. So once you start doing this, you'll get a really good idea of what to do now, what to do next. So that is it. Congratulations, you have finished the crash course in Facebook Adverts Manager. So if you were a complete beginner, there is a total walkthrough of going through from start to finish on creating your first advert. So I wish you all the luck in the world with that. It is a little bit difficult and a little bit tricky to get your head around when you first start, but trust me, it gets better and better as you go along. So I am here to help you if you need me. I am a professional Facebook advertiser. I have been doing this for 3 years. I am involved in a mastermind group that I learn the latest techniques on Facebook marketing every single week, so I can give you the most up-to-date advice. Or if you don't even have time to do your own ads, I can do your ads for you. So if you would like more information on this, just click on www.hayleyjanemarketing.com/social-media for more information about that. But thank you so much for doing the Facebook Adverts Manager crash course. I know that you will start killing it on Facebook now and getting more customers to your business because you have made a smart move and started advertising with Facebook. So if you need to contact me, I'm located at Oran Park, and you can call 1-800-429-539 Monday to Friday, or send me a message on Facebook Messenger, or contact me through my website. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time.